All right, I don't know why I keep trying to do this, but here we go again. It's one thing to build an engine. It is yet another to build a high performance engine. Even though the principles are all the same, there's certain things that you have to do and cannot be avoided if you're going to get into the high performance aspect of things. Over the years, I have had many customers that wanted me to explain exactly how their breakdown occurred. And in order to do so, I had to start from the ground up and explain to them exactly what an engine needs to run. Number one, you need air. Number two, you need fuel. Number three, you need compression. And number four, you need spark. In just that order. And if something's missing along the way, things aren't going to work right. And if you get into the high performance aspect of things, it all comes down to the delivery. That's why some engines are more efficient than others. Some are more powerful than others. Some have more torque than others. And some, quite literally, will make more horsepower and not have as much torque than others. That's the way it works. And what we have been witnessing politically isn't too unlike building an engine. But what makes it so difficult to understand is as this engine's being tore apart, new and more specialized pieces are being installed. And that makes for a complicated understanding of things, I suppose I should say. So I'm going to do my best to try and explain this. And I'm sure I'm going to miss a couple pieces along the way. But try and bear with me. Most people don't know what dual fours are. Which we have two 4-barrel carburetors on the same intake. Most people don't know what a tunnel ram is. Most people have heard of a blower, but they don't know how it operates. Most people have heard of a turbocharger, but have no idea what's involved to make your engine run on the high performance side of things. And that's where I think a lot of the confusion of what's been going on behind the scenes with the draining of the swamp, as they say, comes in. The most difficult repair any mechanic would ever have to make is to try and modify a vehicle or machinery while it's being operated. In other words, you want work done to your car that's going to take days, maybe even weeks, but you need to use it on a daily basis. So things have to be done in stages. And there has to be forethought and planning into every stage before you can move on to the next thing. Because you can't afford to have your car go offline. You need it to go to work. You need to go to the grocery store. You need to take the kids to school, and so forth and so on. Our country has the same qualities as any machine. Certain things have to be done in a timely fashion, or things begin to break down and it can't operate, or our daily lives won't operate in the way that we need them to. The deep state wanted to take the whole thing offline so they could come back and institute whatever it is they were trying to do, and it should be obvious to just about anybody by now. Son of a... That they had intended to take down the economy so that they could set up their own system, and when everything came back online, we would be under it, and there wouldn't be a damn thing that we could do about it. That's why they wanted to take down America. And the term take down America literally means take down America, meaning take us offline. And what the Patriots have been trying to do is reverse what had been done along the way, and in the process replace the pieces that had been put into place to make all of their shit work. The whole time, bear in mind, keeping the machinery running so that our daily lives aren't disrupted. A tricky operation, to say the least. Then you have to take into account the fact that there has been somebody messing around under the hood of this country for years and years who doesn't want their bad habits or their bad work exposed. And that makes it even more complicated, because in the process you have to expose to your customers, in this case the American people, just what has been done to clog up the machinery. And a lot of the way that everything has unfolded has all been to demonstrate to the people who really want to know what happened, so they can understand at least how these pieces fit together and what the effect is. In the end, even the people that have an idea about how this works have no idea what particular pieces are going to be replaced so that it will run more efficiently. We can all speculate, but as far as the way this system works, we don't know. And we're not the ones doing the work, so it's really not for us to second guess it. So I will make a jaw-dropping statement, one that I have made before plenty of times on Derby days. Are you going to do this shit? If not, go sit over there on the back of the truck and watch. I'm not here to defend our president. He's got his faults. There ain't no doubt about it. And he acts different than any other president we've ever had, which in my opinion is a good thing. Because for quite some time, they've all been saying exactly what we want to hear without actually backing it up. As an example, every administration in my lifetime has said that we should do something about the border, which sounded good, but they never did a damn thing about it, leading me to believe that it was all smoke and mirrors so they could raid the programs and line their own damn pockets, because they had a different agenda in mind. And then some other guy comes along during his campaign, makes a bunch of promises, and actually follows them through and does the things that all the rest of them had only said they were going to do, yet never completed. And people still don't believe that the guy is as good as his word, even though he's followed through on the majority of his commitments. How is this possible? And have we become so jaded? Uh-oh. As a country, that we can't even give someone credit for following through with their campaign promises? Can't even have a little hope that even though someone might have a background of dealing with corrupt people, that they might actually be what they say they are? I've said this before, and I know it's true in my case. Just because you have danced with the devil in the past does not mean that you've given up your soul. As a matter of fact, it's entirely possible, while doing the dance, that you are formulating a way to beat the devil at his own game. When Trump got elected, I was already asshole deep into researching something else. And it turns out it may totally be connected to what we're witnessing right now, but I'm still reserving judgment on that. But I decided, because I believe, like a lot of people believe, that our vote doesn't count, that the president isn't elected, he's selected, and all that fun shit, that I would research Donald Trump. And the only thing I could do was go back in time, basically, and look at the things that he had been saying up until the time that he came out for running for president. And he's been against the IMF, against the World Trade Organization, against the bad deals that have been made in this country, and so forth and so on. And if you go back in the Wayback Machine, as they call it, and listen to all that stuff, it matches up perfectly to the things that he's doing today. It also explains why the other side is so dead set against the guy. There's no way that this can all just be an act. Take it from me, ladies and gentlemen. The people on the other side ain't that freaking clever. Original ideas are not their strong point. Rehashing old ideas and trying to make a different result out of past failures, that's what they do. And whether or not you've been paying attention or not, that's exactly what has been done. That's what they've been doing with this Russia collusion bullshit. And every other way they've tried to drag the president to impeachment. It's all the same shit. Always rehashed, with them thinking, this time we can make it work. And it doesn't. Which hopefully has proven to anybody with a stitch of common sense that the vote for the Democrats at this point is a vote for failure. These guys can't even run a decent frame job. They can't shadow ban people off the internet or suppress somebody's channel and not be discovered along the way, even though they think they're getting away with something. So I suppose I'll go back to something my grandfather told me a long time ago. Always use your powers for good. Unless somebody violates the powers of doing good, then it's free game. You want to lie to somebody who's lied to you so you can settle the score? That's perfectly acceptable. Because people shouldn't be able to walk all over other people just for the sake of walking all over people. All I've ever gotten, and I've tried to live my life like this before, and it didn't work out very well for me. All I've ever gotten from turning the other cheek was red freaking cheeks. And eventually, I got tired of it. So I don't forgive anybody of anything unless they're willing to step up and try to correct the shit that they've done. If not, then they don't deserve to be forgiven. And I will lie to them people, and I will take advantage of them. I will do whatever I have to do to settle the score, because that's how it ought to be. Because if we aren't willing to have people pay consequences for the stupid shit that they do, they're only going to do it again. So maybe do yourself a favor. Give a little credit for the work that's already been done. And stop listening to what the other guy has to say. Because just maybe they have a vested interest into this engine of freedom going offline so they can accomplish their agenda. And maybe take into account that someone else is trying to keep it going for all of our benefits, so we don't end up walking down the road into something we never expected to be in. This old girl's been running for a long time, and it'd be a damn shame to have it go offline now.